Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. club. It's early morning in the city. The light rail has just kicked off its morning journeys, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get on the light rail here and head down to Circular Quay to continue my 5 a.m. club and go through a book summary. And today's book summary is entitled The Anatomy of Peace. The Anatomy of Peace and the authorship is called the Arbinger Institute. So let's find out a little bit more about how we can find peace in our world. And the authors here basically kick off the book by making a bold statement, but a very, very powerful one indeed, saying that no conflict can be solved so long as all parties are convinced that they are right. Solution is only possible when at least one party begins to consider how they might be wrong. So basically, the crux of this whole issue that we always face is that when two people are in conflict, it suggests that they both think that they're right, and it's up to each and every one of us to try and identify ways in which we can help the other people or the other person see the errors in their way, or more importantly, the errors in our own way. Because the reality is that it takes two people to sustain a fight, and the bottom line is that we need to learn how to argue less. So how do we go about finding peace in our lives, in the world? The first structured point to come out of this book basically says that we need to learn to choose the higher path of peace through understanding when your heart is leaning towards conflict. Because there are some people who are wired for conflict. And how do you become wired? How do you become wired for conflict? It's quite easy, you know. It's the way you've been brought up. It's the way you see the world. It's the way you see yourself. And these views of other people and of the world impact the way we process information. So let's just head down to the harbour, making sure that we get in front of this light rail and see where today will lead us. As you can see, there's a bit of a breeze blowing down here by the harbour. It's a gentle breeze. It looks like it's a westerly this morning. There's cloud cover, but it's peaceful, it's quiet. So we'll continue the walk and talk. So as we said before, the authors here talk about the importance of the heart that you have, and you can either choose to have a heart of peace or a heart of conflict. So the heart could also be just a way of thinking, but it's your choice, because the heart of war sees other people as mere objects, whereas the heart of peace sees other people as people, as a person. So what does it mean in order to have a heart of peace? The heart of peace is one of compassion, where you see the other person as opposed to an object, and if you take the time to listen to them, to understand their viewpoint, to see where they're coming through, it'll give you a better and stronger platform in order to understand where they're coming from. The authors here talk about the importance of letting go of past grudges, to be understanding and to be human, to basically try and be human as opposed to being an animal. You know, to sit and think, to be objective with how you view the world, and not to be just, I guess, too binary. Just because you grew up in a world that saw other people in a particular light, doesn't mean that you need to hold on to those views. You can steadily let go of them and learn, as we said before, to be a little bit more compassionate and to make your own views of people and to draw your own conclusions from the different cultures and the different people that we have around us. So the author here then moves on and talks a little bit more about how we can bring peace. And one of the suggestions that comes from this book is to look at ways of changing the environment, to invite others to change is probably more effective than to try and force change onto others. So what can we do from an environmental perspective to help people feel less threatened, in order to enable them to see a different world, rather than them to be caught up in an environment which fosters a particular way of thinking. One of the things that we can consider doing, according to the author, is to look for reasons behind their action, because people behave in a certain way because of some particular reasoning or some particular reason or number of reasons. So one of the key skills, according to the author here, is to look behind their actions. And it's not about who is right or who is wrong, but about what they actually need. And each of us have different needs, and if starved of those needs, then we tend to behave erratically and badly, I guess is the bottom line. So the best advice from this author is that we need to listen and to show compassion. It's probably the key skill and the key theme coming from this book. And in order to do that, we need to resist the destructive urge to justify our bad behaviour by putting ourselves into a box. So what is this box that this author talks about? Because the author says here is that we humans are really, really good at deceiving ourselves. And the boxes that we tend to put ourselves into influence significantly our behaviours and the way we see the world. And the boxes that the author talks about are three really, really critical boxes that we need to understand. So we need to understand ourselves in order to understand others. So the boxes that cause the most conflict are the box of better than, the box of victim, and the box of I deserve. So let's just step through these boxes here and understand them a little bit better. So the better than box is where you put yourself in a box where you think that others are less than us, they are not worthy, they're not respectable, and they're not important. And if you see other people that way, if you see other people as not being worthy, not being important, and not being respectable, then you're not going to treat them all that well in the first place, and you're going to cause conflict, and you're going to cause pain and suffering, not only to them, but also to yourself. The second box that we talk about here is the victim box, where we see the world as being an unfair place, where everybody is out to get us, and that people basically are malicious and bad. And once again, if that's the way you see the world, then you're not going to be treating people all that well because of that worldview that you hold. And the last box that you can put yourself into, which is going to cause tremendous issues and pain to those around you and also to yourself, is the one where I deserve, where you see that you are deserving of a better world or a better outcome. And it's called the sickness of entitlement, where you see the world as a place that has cheated you and that you're trying to fight for the things that you think that you deserve. And once again, if it's all about you, and it is a very, very selfish view of the world, then you're going to be going out of your way to be just grabbing whatever you can, as often as you can, just to fill that void, that sickness of entitlement. So those three boxes, these three boxes that we've talked about, basically blind us and cause conflict in our lives, cause unreal conflict. So the key is to look at the world through the eyes of others and to learn to be compassionate in order to bring harmony, to look at others as opposed to being selfish, to look at the needs of others. Because if you're selfish and you see the world as, that you're a victim, that you deserve, and that you're better than other people, you're smarter than other people, you're more deserving than other people, then you're going to be on the wrong path, is the bottom line from this book. So it's all about a change in heart and a change in viewpoint, according to this author. And if you choose to change, the whole world will change for you, is the message from this book. But it all depends on you changing both your heart and your mind, is the bottom line. And that's about it. So thank you very much for joining me on Jim's 5 AM Club on this beautiful, beautiful morning. It's got a bit of a chill to it. The day is bringing back the autumn chill. Summer is well on its way and gone for this year until next year, or if we're lucky to get to summer this year, we'll see. Justin! Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and let's make the most of the learning and the learnings from this book summary this morning, which is entitled The Anatomy of Peace. And to find peace in our lives, to find peace in our family, and to be the source of peace to others. So thank you very much, and we'll chat again later on this morning, where we go through and go on another journey of discovery, doing another book summary where we can learn a little bit more, a few more life hacks that we can incorporate into our life, learnings that'll help get us through the morning, get through the day, to be the wind beneath our wings, and to help us become better versions of ourselves. Γεια σας, φιλάκια, all the very best, and let's make the most of this awesome day that's going to unravel and unfold before our very eyes. Take care and bye for now.